Welcome everyone to the Standing Lounge. I'm Stevie B. Today we're going to talk about the first metal album I ever purchased. That's right, Metallica Master of Puppets.
Metallica rules!
Now if this music isn't your speed, that's cool, man. I like all genres of music, and I'm sure I'll eventually touch on one that you enjoy as well. I'm going to share some stories and some memories of this, but first, let's talk about it. Master of Puppets was released on March 3rd, 1986. It stands as a monumental achievement in heavy metal, a defining album that pushed the boundaries of thrash and cemented the band's legacy. It was produced by Metallica and Flemming Rasmussen, and it was recorded in Copenhagen, Denmark. Unfortunately, it's the last album to feature legendary bassist Cliff Burton before his untimely death. This masterpiece has been recognized for its cultural and historical significance, earning a place in the Library of Congress's National Recording Registry in 2015. This album is a testament to the band's technical prowess, featuring complex song structures, intricate guitar work, a powerful and dynamic rhythm section, and Cliff Burton's exceptional bass playing that added a unique depth to their sound. Lyrically, the album delves into dark and thought-provoking themes, exploring control, manipulation, addiction, and social commentary on war, mental illness, and religious hypocrisy. The creation of Master of Puppets was a meticulous and driven process. Metallica, having honed their skills with the previous albums, approached this project with heightened ambitions. Songwriting began in the rehearsal space with James and Lars structuring riffs and arrangements. Then they brought these ideas to Kirk and Cliff for a collaborative environment. The band decided to return to the studios in Denmark with producer Rasmussen, valuing that atmosphere and his expertise. With an increased budget, they were able to dedicate more time to perfecting each track. The recording sessions were intense, with a focus on achieving a powerful and precise sound. Particular attention was paid to the complex guitar layers and Burton's innovative bass lines. The mixing process was handled by Michael Wagner, and it resulted in a dry, upfront sound, adding to the album's raw power. The band's influences for Master of Puppets were diverse, contributing to its unique sound. They drew inspiration from the raw energy of bands like Motorhead, the dark and heavy riffs of Black Sabbath, and the intricate guitar work of Diamond Head. Literary influences also played a significant role, with The Thing That Should Not Be drawing inspiration from H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos, and Welcome Home Sanitarium being based on Ken Kesey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. These influences, combined with the band's own experiences and observations, resulted in an album that is both musically groundbreaking and lyrically profound, a true masterpiece of heavy metal. Oh yeah! Now, while doing research for this, it was wild to learn that this made it into the Library of Congress's National Music Registry. I had no idea anything like that existed. I'll drop a link, you guys go check it out. I spent some time there. There's all kinds of different artists from genres, specific albums make it in, songs. It's really, really neat. Back to Metallica. So, Master of Puppets wasn't my first introduction to them. This was. Now, growing up, my dad was a rocker. My mom liked rock too, but she also liked R&B and pop. So musically, my environment, I had a variety, which is cool until I got older. Then I started going down my own path. I would watch a lot of VH1, MTV. Awesome. I miss those days. Fast forward a couple years, okay? Middle school, I was in choir. Choir teacher was cool. On Fridays, we would play Name That Tune. She was really good on the piano. Or we could bring in CDs and we could all like pick a song, listen to one song. She had a really cool, huge stereo system behind her. I mean, it was rocking. One of my buddies brought in Metallica Reload. Cool. Really liked it. I'm like, dude, I want to get that. I know Metallica, they did Enter Sandman. Yeah, you know, that kind of vibe. So we went to the store and I had some money Now, back then, CDs were like 17, 20 bucks. They were expensive, right? And I'm like, I'm getting Reload. I want that. My buddy's got it. It's cool. And I was paging through the list. And I came across this. Now, this is the exact one I bought back then. Still have it. And when I was going through it, I'm like, the cover grabbed my attention. And I'm like, the crosses and the strings, and there's a dog. I'm like, this is pretty badass. Master of Puppets, awesome name. Didn't know a single song on here. Nothing. Got home, opened it up. First thing I do, pop it in the CD player. Booklets on the inside. I'm sure you can relate to this, but I always like to take care of them. And it's like they got booby traps in there when you try to slide it out. They got the 4 tabs and the little hoobie doobies in the front. So if it catches something, it'll put a tear in it or it'll crinkle it. Man, I used to get so mad. So I put it in, and I'm glad. I wish all artists would put their lyrics in the booklet. Sometimes you get a CD and it doesn't have it. It's a bummer. Okay. So I'm like, man, this is completely different sounding from Reload, like night and day. Now, I'm a big fan of Metallica altogether. Now, I know some people, they drew a line, and that's cool. I like them. I've always liked them. I like the sound of James's voice. So yeah, so I listen to it, and some of the stuff when you're younger, you don't really understand the depth lyrically of what the message or what they're trying to say. Leper Messiah is my favorite song to this day off this album. The whole album's a banger. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. It's a banger. But I don't know why. I just loved that. I loved lyrically what they were trying to say. Really cool. Really cool. Sanitarium. Another great one. I remember when I would listen to that, my mom would, turn that off. I don't like you listening to that song. I get it now. But she never explained why. I would ask her, I'm like, why not? Orion. Now, I never really was a big fan of instrumental music. I always liked to hear a singer and lyrics. 8th grade, I had a English teacher, and he's also a history teacher. Metallica fan. And he would play Orion. That was his favorite song. So I grew to love it as I got. I mean, it's great. It's truly a masterpiece. Obviously, the title track, Master of Puppets. Now, I bet we can all, as soon as you hear that, dan, 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 everybody does that. Dan, 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 dan. On a side note, that little clip I just played was from Stranger Things Season 4, where Master of Puppets was being played in an epic scene. And it was also used in the 2003 movie Old School with Will Ferrell, Vince Vaughn, and Luke Wilson. If you remember the scene when they were trying to gather people up for their fraternity they were trying to create and hijacking them and putting them in a van. Instant classic.
You're my boy, Blue!
All right, let's get back to it. The whole album is great. It's a banger. 10 out of 10 for sure. And any conversation that you have with someone when you're talking about great metal albums, this one is brought up. Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning are awesome too. But this one, man, their junior album, they really brought something special. They polished it up. And they made it happen. All right, I'll share some memories with you guys. So I used to be a big computer gamer. I still kind of am a little bit. Yes, I'm a nerd.
Nerd alert!
I've always been a nerd. I like fantasy and wizards and dragons and sci-fi, reading. But I used to play Diablo 1 and Diablo 2 a lot. Now, I'll give you a little gist of the game if you're not familiar with it. It's an action RPG, dungeon crawler. You pick a character. There's like sorceress, a barbarian, necromancer, druid, assassin. And you level them up and you basically fight your way to the gates of hell. And demons and monsters. It's a great time. Anyway, back then you used to have to put the disc in the disc drive to play the game. Well, I had a little portable CD player with some extra computer speakers that I jacked in. I would go into the settings on the in-game and turn the music all the way down and play this album. And it fit hand in hand with what you were doing in the game. I spent hours playing. I mean, I still play Diablo 2, to be honest with you. It's a classic. Middle school, high school, big hacky sack player. Even in my adulthood, I play. We had a little group of guys, and we'd bring a jam box along and throw in some Metallica. Now, the whole variety of Metallica. Master of Puppets would come on from time to time, obviously. But so we'd, even at lunchtime, we'd go outside and kick the bag around. It just brings back memories. Even sitting in your room, just jamming. I would just jam, turn it up to 11, and let it flow, man. Good vibes. That's, even to this day, like I said earlier, cleaning the house, around the house, chopping vegetables, prepping dinner. It's just music, man. It talks to you. This album played a crucial part in my life and experiencing other artists through this. You know, it was cool, wild. But I want to thanks for stopping by the lounge today and hanging out with me. Much appreciated. Hit that like button if you're a fan of this album, and drop a comment. Let me know what your favorite song is. Mine's Leper Messiah. And remember, everyone is welcome here.